Shalom, shalom, family, and welcome back. This is Brother Maurice. Let's talk about earthly treasures. Because for the longest, we've been seeking out the treasures of the earth. But in our ignorance, we did not understand where these things come from. Let's take a look at the Third Testament, chapter 7, verse number 53. It says, "The time will come when every sect and church will examine itself in order to search for what belongs to my works. But to find that treasure, they will need to lift up their spirits and listen to the voice of conscience." Third Testament chapter 44, verse 24. "When I say to you, ask and it will be given to you, you ask me for earthly things. But truly, for how little you ask me." Listen to this. It says, "Above all, ask me for all that is for the good of your spirit. Gather no treasures on earth, for there are thieves here. Gather treasures in the Father's kingdom, for there your wealth will be safe, and it will serve the happiness and peace of your spirit." Third Testament chapter 17, verse 47. "The bodily delights bring only suffering, not only in this world, but also after the transition to the spiritual world. For even there, the influence of those bodily desires can reach. And because the spirit cannot free itself from them, it continues to be tormented by those desires and wants to return again and again to earth to reincarnate, to continue to live materially. Therefore, my children, ask only for what you really need for the good of your spirit." Third Testament chapter 44, verse number 25. It says, "The treasures of the earth are the riches, the power, and the titles of false greatness. The treasures of the spirit are the good works." Let's go to the restored version of Matthew chapter 6, verse number 19. And it tells us, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon this earth, where moth and rust does corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal the treasures of your heart, which are the desires ye have." What we have to understand, family, is we were given a lot of information before we came here into this life. Because this is our time of probation. This is our second estate. Our first estate, we live with the Father. And there the Father taught us many things. And you may remember in Jeremiah chapter 1, verse number 5, it says, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations." So just like what took place with Jeremiah, we were all in the kingdom with the Father before we came here. And we've lived with the kingdom. We lived in the kingdom of the Father for thousands of years. I know that might be hard for some of you to wrap your heads around, but that's all right. Let's continue. Because there was something that the Father told us before we came here. Let's go to the sealed portion, chapter 20, starting at verse number 4. And it says, "And when we received these commandments from the Lord, we did not understand the meaning of them. For we had no desire for any of the treasures of the earth." Because this is what the Father told us. He told us not to search out the treasures of the earth. He did not want us to have anything to do with them. But we're in the spirit world. We didn't understand what these things were. It says, "For we had no desire for any of the treasures of the earth. Yea, we did not know what we should even consider as treasures of the earth. Therefore, we cannot lay up for ourselves those things that we did not understand. Nevertheless, we covenanted to obey this commandment without fully understanding at the time it was given unto us. And thus we did because of our faith in the word of the Lord." Verse number 5. Now pay attention here, family. It says, "And we remembered the words of Satan," because Satan was there with us, because he is our brother. And he said some things that kind of stuck with us in the spirit world. It says, and we remembered the words of Satan when he was cast out of the kingdom of the Father, in which he said that he would take the treasures of the earth, and with gold and silver he would buy up great armies of men, and that he would buy up the means of justice. Do you hear this? And laws, that the children of men would be subjected to through his governments and his religions, and that he would reign with blood and horror upon the earth. Yeah, family, we heard this before we came down here. Now you should understand why the justice system and the legal system is so messed up. And it's said through the governments. Now you understand what's going on with this government, because it's always been going on. In the Bible, it said that the Father set up and he would set up and take down the leaders. That's not true, because he left us all here during this time of probation to figure things out. And we are slowly beginning to figure these things out, because this is Satan's world, family. He's the one that's in control right now. And he is the one that is setting up these governments. He's setting them up, and he's also tearing them down. And we see what's happening right now with this government. It's on its way down. But I digress. Let's continue. Verse number 6. And when the Lord gave unto us the holy endowment as an instrument to give our children the opportunity to know the plan of salvation that he hath provided for us, we were commanded to demonstrate the great enticement that the treasures of the earth would have upon the souls of the children of God. But even then, we did not fully understand that which was commanded of us. So now we should understand that our children, we should be teaching them so they do not desire the treasures of the earth. So they're not looking for these brand new shiny things, because we are meant to live simple and meager lives. And the goal was for us to learn to get along with each other. But let's continue. The sealed portion, chapter 25, verse number 30 says, and thus had Satan entered into the hearts, and with the treasures of the earth, he began his reign of horror as he had promised. 3rd Testament, chapter 46, verse number 58. When I see men entangled in wars, killing themselves because of the possessions of the treasures of the world, I cannot help but compare men again and again with little children who fight over things that have no value. The cars, the homes, all these things have no value because we're only here for a drop in a bucket in time. What's most important is our souls, and make sure that we are doing the things that we are commanded, and that is love. So we are prepared when we return back to the kingdom. It says children are still the people who fight over a little power or a little gold. What do these possessions mean besides the virtues that unite other people? Sealed portion, chapter 72, verse number 21. And the men of this nation and the men of this nation, family, shall think of nothing but those things which they must do in order to acquire more material goods and get more gain than they might, in their pride, have more than their neighbor, and be looked upon as one who have gained the success of the world because of his hard work and his industry. 3rd Testament, chapter 53, verse 39. The world has not learned my teaching and has nourished its idolatry and fanaticism. Therefore, it now experiences the great melting pot and drinks the cup of suffering, for its materialism has removed it far from me. 3rd Testament, chapter 52, starting at verse number 27. Verily I say unto you, my kingdom will not be established among men while the tree of evil still has life. This power must be destroyed. For this it is necessary to possess, the sword of love and righteousness, the only one that sin cannot resist. Understand that not judgments or punishments, but love, forgiveness, and mercy. The essence of my teaching will be the light that illuminates your path and the teaching that brings salvation to mankind. Your materialism has turned Eden, which I entrusted to man, into hell. False is the life that men lead. False are their pleasures, their power, and their wealth. False are their scholarship and science. 3rd Testament chapter 48, verse 6. You have the true treasures within you, abilities and talents which you do not even suspect. And as a result of your ignorance, you shed tears like those in need. What do you know of the power of prayer and the power of thought? What do you know of the deep meaning of spirit-to-spirit dialogue? Nothing. You materialistic and earthly-minded humanity. Last verse, 3rd Testament chapter 8, verse 83. I have come down into the bosom of the people of Israel, the majority of whom are at home in this nation. The rest are scattered in all nations, sent by me. And to them I have made myself known spiritually. These are my chosen ones, who have remained faithful to me. Their heart is not infected with their spirit. Their heart is not infected, and their spirit can receive my inspirations. Through their mediation, I am currently giving the world a great treasure of wisdom. Family, I pray you're able to receive this message. I love you, family. Shalom, shalom.